Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I'm here planning for the week of February 9th through the 15th. This is in my B&R Paper Crafts Plan B planner, and for this week I'm also using a kit from B&R Paper Crafts. This is called Pink Flowers. In case it's not abundantly obvious from this front page, I have used this kit in a previous year, but it is a deluxe kit, and so I have tons left, so I want to use it again. So to start off with, I have full boxes on this page. I have this little smaller box and some bottom washi, or not bottom washi, small boxes, 4 more full boxes and some icons, some functional stuff, some boxes, some glittery boxes, more functional things, 1 set of glitter headers, and 2 more full boxes. So basically I have a ton of stuff that I can be using for this. So my plan is to use all this stuff judiciously plus a few extras. So first off, I plan to use 1 set. There's like 3 times 4, so 12 of these guys. I'm going to use 7 of them to go along the top. So that's going to be my top set of headers. And then I'm going to use this set of glitter headers as well. And then I do need a 3rd set of headers. So I did pull out this wiggle that I have also previously used. This is from Scribble Prints Co. But it is in this pink shattered hollow kind of vibe. If I can get all the pages out of the little sleeve, that would be super helpful. So the wiggle comes with some flags and bows, header, date covers, headers, icons, and bottom washi. My plan is this is going to be the top set of headers, and then this is going to be the middle set of headers, and then this is going to be the bottom set of headers. And then I plan to use for the bottom washi this guy, and then that is all I pulled out, which I'm just realizing is not enough. I meant to grab another bottom washi, but let's see what I have in my stash. I'm just going to show you right now. I have a giant box of washi. Not too surprising, to be honest, since I obviously really like washi. So let me see. I think this one would be too wide. That might be too wide. What if I use this guy? Yeah, this one will fit. So I have this floral one. I think it's from an old set from Joann's, which is now closed here. But obviously still using the washi. So I will use that as my second bottom washi to make that work out pretty well. And then the wiggle does have date covers, which I have used before, but I actually pulled in some that I think go even better with this kit, which is this set from Sadie's Stickers. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this set with the kind of like more zoomed out cherry blossoms. I think that's the set I want to use. I'm not really sure why. Looking at it with everything else, maybe I want the more zoomed in set. All right, sure. Let's use the zoomed in set. And then I did pull out from Avalon and Knight some date covers. Well, this is the date dots that are left from the date covers. I know it doesn't exactly match the colors, but you get this like burgundy and this peach that I think go pretty well with the pinks that are already in the kit. And then you get 2 shades of blue, which I've been pulling in little bits of blue like here. It's in a few boxes, things like that. So I kind of want to expand on that. So I'm going to use these guys as well. So I'm going to deal with all of this chaos, hopefully, and then I will be back so we can do the interesting bits. Okay, here's where we are at thus far. I think it's looking pretty good. If I give it a little wiggle, you can see the foiling. These guys are gold foiled. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I like the colored foil and the gold foiled kind of mixing together. I think it looks cute. Okay, so that leaves us next with full boxes. So I have 9 full boxes that I can use. I did also pull these Sadie stickers covers that are also gold foiled and have like blossoms on them. I haven't decided if there are a couple of boxes that I think these would look really good on. I think there's a possibility that I could use a couple of them, but that's something that I'll figure out once I actually lay down the full boxes. So first, I think we need to pair them like usual. I think these two go together. I think these two go together. I think these two go together, which leaves these 3 as kind of my odd ones out. Personally, I think this one has potential to use one of these guys. I think maybe like this one could look cute here. Perhaps. I don't know. I feel like all of these are like just a hair too busy. Maybe I'll just skip these. Okay, so with that, I can just put these in any order I want then. So this one I think is my favorite of the 3 that don't have matching friends. So I'm going to use this one as my quote box. There we go. And then I think I'll use this one as Thursday. Add some more of this like brighter pink color to the middle. All right, that looks pretty cute. Then I think I need one of the lighter colored ones next. So I think maybe I'll do this pair next. Finishes this sheet. These I don't think have like an order for which one goes on Friday and which one goes on Wednesday. So I'm just gonna stick them down in the order that I grabbed them. There we go. Like so. And then I think we do the other branches maybe. So like this one. This one. There we go. And then that leaves these 2. I guess we'll put them in this order. One here. And one here. I really want to figure out how to use those covers, but I'm just not sure I can make it work on any of these. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not sure how I like any of these would lay on top of the current patterns. So I guess we're just gonna have to skip it. Okay, moving on to the sidebar. I have a bunch of things that I don't need now, so I'm gonna try to stick those to the side. I might need this guy, this guy, I think I used all the habit trackers already, so I don't have a habit tracker handy here. I did pull a couple of pages from other kits in my stash, so I do have a habit tracker here from Lovely Planner Blog, so maybe I'll use that one. just so that I still have a habit tracker. I think that might be nice. All right, so starting out with this strip of washi. These washi strips are slightly taller than a standard header, which is why they're good for up here, because I actually stick these headers above of the box rather than in the box. Just give myself like a little extra space. It's not a lot, it's like 1/8 of an inch, but always nice to have. So I'm gonna stick this guy in next. There we go. I do have from the Wiggle, the Instagram icon is still here. So I'm going to use that since that's going to track my socials. Then I think I'm going to stick in another strip of washi. Like so. And then I need one of these guys. Do I want the peach or the pink? I guess I'll use the peach because I have a couple of short peach checklists still left, so I think it'll spread out the colors better during the week. So this will be for my meal tracker, which is, you know, handy to have. And then I guess I'll stick this in next. And I want the last full box. Like so. And then I just have a little space left, and not enough for this little half box. Maybe I can use it during the week. There is enough left for this washi strip. Like so. I think I'm gonna keep the peach washi strip not in there. And then I did this a couple weeks ago when I was using the Wiggle. I am gonna just stick this little bow guy, if I can, up here. That looks pretty cute. Then I just don't have any of that left, and I might as well use the space as best as I am able. All right, moving on to the weekdays. I have a pretty standard week. So first off, I have these 3 skinny guys here. And then what else do I have in the way of boxes that size? None on this page and none on this page. So I'm gonna alternate with a couple of these just to mark work. This is usually how I mark work in this kind of setup. So I'll use this one. And then I'll use this one. There we go. All right. Next up is my plan with me. Let me see. I do still have like the little reel icon left. I have a book that could work, and I have the laptop and the like desktop looking one that could also work. So this is going to be a plan with me on Monday, and then on Friday it's going to be, I think, my Aura Estelle personal planner setup. So I'm going to use, do I want to use little things? Do I want to use something a little bigger? I think I'll use little things. So I think for this one, I'm going to use actually the paper clip. I think that could be cute. Let me just find a little thing that's not the same color as what I've already been doing. There we go. Oh, actually, I changed my mind. I think I'm going to use the paper clip for my Aura Estelle setup at the end of the week. So I'll use a little reel here on Monday. That looks pretty cute. Tuesday, I do have curling. I don't really have any like workout or workout related icons on here. Over here I have this little running guy, but that's basically it. So I think my plan is to just use some of these. I think that's a reasonable option. So I'm gonna fill that in here. And then from my leftovers, I have all of these guys left. So I think it could be cute just to like stick in one of these. All right, so that's Tuesday. Wednesday, I don't know what's happening. We're just gonna move on. Thursday and Friday, I need to find the correct pages again. So Thursday, I guess we're just gonna make this one a really peach column. Why not? There we go. And then I have this one here on Friday. Thursday, I have curling again. So if I find the right strip, I think I need to pick something that's not peach. Just to get a little variety down here. And then I am going to use another one of the little dots from this guy. There we go. Friday, I do have, we can use peach on this one. My Orestelle and with me going up, which we already talked about. So there's that. By the time you see this video, you'll be able to watch all of these things. So that's going up. And then Saturday is Valentine's Day. So I feel like I should mark that somehow. I don't know if we're gonna do anything, but we can mark it. Do I have like a little icon? I could use like the little heart. That could be cute. All right, I'm gonna make it pale pink. I know that matches the header, but it's fine. And I'm just gonna, if I can get this up. This particular wiggle was cut just like a hair deep, it seems like, because part of the backer keeps trying to come up with it. There we go, marking Valentine's Day. On Sunday, I don't know what's happening, to be honest. So I'm just gonna take all these pages. Hopefully I can find a spot to use this. If not all together, I could always divide it in half, which I do quite often, and just use it as like a couple of wider washi strips. So I'm going to take all this nonsense and put it to the side. I also have these pages that are done, this page that's done, and then I have a few things in this stack of stuff that I don't need for whatever reason. So that's all just going to go to the side. And then this is where we are going to pause with our pre-planning. So stick around for just a second and you can see the finished spread. All right, here's the finished spread. I'll give a little wiggle and a twerk. I did really use up a lot of things, definitely a lot of foiling on this week's spread. So let's go through what I used. Unsurprisingly, I do still have a good amount of stuff left over from these leftovers from Vintage Glam, some things left over from Lovely Planner Blog. Those will just go back in my leftover stack. I also still have some date covers from Avalon and Ninth. Not date covers, date dots. I know what I'm talking about. I do still have the date covers from Sadie Stickers and one set of date covers from Sadie Stickers that I did not use. They just didn't go kind of the way I wanted them to with the kit, so I didn't use them. And then I do have 2 sets of glitter headers, a set of date covers, some icons, and some flags and bows left in my wiggle. So I'm going to save these things for sometime in the future. I might actually have another pink shattered foil wiggle somewhere. So I might end up just pulling these in at the same time. We'll have to see how that goes. And then finally looking at the kit, I do still have some stuff left, some functional things here, a few bits and bobs here, a few boxes, some icons, a few more boxes, and then I also finished 3 pages from that kit, as well as the washi strip from the Wiggle. So I did use up quite a bit of stuff actually from my stash, but still a few things left to go back in there. If I don't mention it, it did come from that kit, the B&R Paper Crafts kit. Also, everything, all this pink foiling is from that Scribble Prints Co. Wiggle. The date covers from Sadie Stickers, the date dots from Avalon and 9th. Other things I pulled in, I had a checklist and some icons here from that Vintage Glam Studio set. Another one here. I also pulled in this bottom washi, which I believe is from Joann's back when they were still open. And otherwise, that's all I really pulled in. So mostly just using the kit, which I think worked out really well for me to use up a bunch of stuff. So as always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know how your week went down below. Or if you don't have anything that you want to leave me some sort of pink flower emoji just to say hi. I would love to hear from you. And then follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Creative Life of Liz. You'll see in progress and finished spreads, as well as bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.